What's up, guys? You are watching the Quezt, and I am your host, Robert Dylan Vasquez. Robert Roni Boy Vasquez, sitting here with another little Roni Boy Enzo. What's up, guys? We're out here for episode 13. We're out here on a Friday night. You could say it's Friday the 13th. Oh, it's week 2 of COVID, and I have been stuck in the house, cooped up in the house. It's an insane asylum. I am staring at white walls in here. It's just me. I've made a lot of bad jokes. Oh, Enzo's had to endure a lot. So is Miranda. I want to give a birthday shout out to 27-year-old Miranda. Her social security number is my FF, my Bell, my Chulger. I love you. No comedy zone this week or last week. I'm not trying to spread this thing. I'm safe Sally. I'm safe Sally. I don't go around spreading COVID. I don't. Oh, I've already had it. I'm immune because I've had. Man, whatever. I'm not going anywhere. And then they called for mandatory next week. So when I go back to work, it's overtime. Woohoo! No, man. I don't want to do that. Anyways, we're going to skip right into this question that I got asked in the comment section. I think it was by This Name Doesn't Fit. It goes, what's a drug you've never tried that you'd like to try? Okay. Now, the reason I didn't comment back is because I wanted to address this specifically on the Quest. Number 1, read the room. Yeah, no. We don't be talking about drugs on the Quest. If you've watched one, you would know that we talk about a lot of silly stuff. Drugs aren't silly. People who do drugs are silly. I want to lick a toad. There's your answer. I want to lick toad. So, and then we have the imprint of the week. We're just gonna nail through this because I have the Little Debbie tournament opening winners. Then we have the question. Then we have the unlocking memories, and it's the 13th episode, dude. Thank you guys for coming out, dude. I'm glad that you're here with me and little Roni boy Enzo. So the imprint of the week. All right, this one's a lot to unpack. That's why I wanted to go ahead and jump into it. That way we can get to the rest of the show. If you could cast yourself in any horror film, especially if it's a bad horror film that best reflects your personality, which would you choose? And would you see yourself as the lone survivor, first casualty, or the surprise twist slasher, like the the real actual slasher? Man, that's a hard one. If you've ever seen the movie Stay Alive, it's a video game based, so cheesy, dude. When I talk about, sci-fi movies and stuff like that, that's one. It's got Frankie Muniz in it. It's got Agent Cody Banks. It's got Malcolm in the Middle in it. How scary can you be? But I digress. They all play this game. It's a group of friends. And they log into the game and they make this. It's sick. It's sick how they make their characters, and it's a very weird movie because they have to read this ritual when they start the game. It's like when you're reading the directions. It's not even directions. It's like this ritual, and they all say it out loud together, which is fucking weird. But it's the only way they can get through the game. And I don't know why I'm breaking down the movie, but Stay Alive. If you die in the game, you die in real life. So you got to be good at video games. I like that. That's what horror film I would put myself in, because that's a bad one. But I'm right beside Frankie. Hey, Mr. Banks. What? Dude. And then, okay. Which would you choose? And would you see yourself? Okay. That best reflects my personality. I think that's why I chose Stay Alive. I'm cheesy, but I'm a good idea, but the execution, no. Don't talk down on yourself. When you have a negative thought, attack it with a positive thought. I got the fattest cat in all of South Carolina. I love you. Let me talk about that real quick. I'm going to interrupt the imprint. Sorry. That's one thing that's surprised me about being cooped up in the house for 2 weeks straight, not really going anywhere, not really having to go anywhere, but like literally, I took it very serious, and I quarantined. I thought that my depression or whatever it is, I've never been diagnosed with anything, so I thought that I would go stir crazy. I thought that I would be bored. I thought that I would be like cutting the grass at 3 a.m. But I just attacked myself with positive thoughts and reassured myself that I was doing the right thing. It would have been easy to go surround myself with people at Walmart or any public place. But like, that's not what you do. You got to play by the rules. There are policies for a reason. I'm not a sheep, but now you can't blame me. I'm going back to work, and it's going to be great, dude. I get to have camaraderie. I get to talk shit. Oh man, I have so many questions. I have so many jokes, good and bad. I just can't wait to unleash them. These guys have had to endure a lot of bad jokes. So now, let me get back to the imprint. And would you see yourself as the lone survivor, first casualty, or the surprise twist actual killer? Okay, so along with Stay Alive, any of those one-man slashers, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, I love those. I would not last very long in those movies. So Stay Alive aside, because it best reflects my personality. But I would probably choose a Jason movie. Michael Myers is like, it would have to be like supernatural. I wouldn't want Michael Myers to kill me, because even though he is supernatural and you could say what you want, he's not gonna, I don't know, he just doesn't have the same presence that a Jason does. So I totally think that I would be the first casualty. Now, it would be even like if it was like, I would definitely be like one of the stoners in the van, like me and the dog, or no, me and Enzo are just in the van, and I'm like, I'm not coming out of the van, you guys. Or I'm just unaware the whole time. I'm like, hey guys, we're gonna go step out in the van and like, and get high. It's it'd be like, all right, Chet, fucking have a good time, and I'd be like, radical. And then I come out at the very end and everybody's dead, and I'm just like, oh, what? I crank up the van and I go. That's what happens. Or I'm the first casualty, and me and Roni here, Ruby dooby doo, we're out in the van, and oh, there's a knock on the door. Ghosts. Dude, it would be a twist. I would not be the killer. Dude, you unplug these headphones, you make me hard cut again, you're out, dude. Ugh. Here you go, I'll get the door for you. Bye, love you. Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up, dude? Shout out to my chugger for this retro MoonRouteStudios sweater. I love it. I already had the sweater. We just put the design on it. It's sick. I like it. No merch yet. Merch is mine, one of a kind. Merch is mine, one of a kind. I just like wearing my own stuff. Am I conceited? Am I narcissistic? Am I closed-minded and only thinking about myself selfishly? No, I don't think so. I'm one of the most caring people that there are. Will be. I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Hell yeah. I wish I had another Zevia, and I'd... Oh, shout out to Zevia. Shout out to Bobby. Cracking beer bottles in the pool. How are you laughing at that? Dude, I love that video. Shout out to Bobby. Yeah, man. Imprint of the week, I would definitely not be the actual slasher. You would suspect me. I would be like too dumb. I would play dumb the whole time, and then you'd be like, yeah, it was the dumb guy all along. No, I'm not falling for that. I'm either the first casualty like everybody thinks I'm going to be because I'm out doing recreationals in the van, or I'm the lone survivor with my cat. With my cat. And we end up being lone survivors together. Duo survivors. Anyways, now on to the question. Dude, what's a movie you'd go back in time for to see it in theaters? Like, when I think about that, I think about all like the hype movies, like obviously to see Star Wars in theaters in its heyday and feel that I would be ecstatic. There are only a couple movies through time. Hey man, you're on 13. Did I even say the date? It's April 9th. Shout out to Miranda. You're watching the Quezt with Robert Dylan Vasquez. I'll do the whole intro over. Dude, what's a movie you'd go back in time for to see it in theaters? Now, I've seen a good bit of movies in theaters. I like watching movies like that. Growing up I didn't have surround sound. I'm lucky if I even saw it like when it was coming out. Like as soon as the DVD hit. I didn't get it then. I got it when it was thrown into the $5 bin. I'm like arm deep. I'm like, I just want to see Paul Blart. Dude, besides the DVD, man, I didn't get a lot of stuff right as it came out, so I would watch it in movie theaters. I loved the movie Fired Up. Me and my boy Alex, we saw the movie Fired Up in theaters. I shit you not, probably 9 times. In 2 days, the Friday and the Saturday, we would just spend from like 6:30, 7 p.m. all the way till midnight, 1 in the morning, just chilling out at the movie theater, because it was the way the movie theater was, which is now the Big E. It was Starplex and then Star Max for the longest time. The Gaffney Entertainment Center, the Big E. It's had a lot of names, right? But I think at that time it was the Starplex and or Star Max. It was one of the two. And we would just go with different people and be like, hey, have you guys seen Fired Up yet? And they'd be like, nah. We would just go in. Sometimes we would pay, sometimes we weren't. We were kids, you know what I'm saying? It was as easy as being like, oh, we already got our ticket. Yeah, it's from 8 hours ago. But whatever. Nobody questioned it. That movie wasn't even that good. Fired Up. F you. It was about, hey, am I going to break down movies the whole Quest? Is that what we do? No. But it was about 2 male football players, and they ended up going to cheer camp to be like undercover male whores and run through the whole cheer camp, whatever. It was a good movie in its time, but I would go back and I would watch that just to relive it one more time in theaters, because you would think it would get old, but it just didn't. It just didn't. Okay, so we're moving on to something that I've really wanted to talk about since it happened last week, since I announced the tournament. Dude, the opening rounds went so well. They went so well, dude. I'm going to pull up the voting right now because I'm super excited. I've had numerous messages about the Debbie Cake tournament. And now, if you didn't vote or you didn't get a chance to vote on this Debbie Cake tournament, sucks for you, dude. I told you guys about it. And I put the Instagram in the bio. Come on, dog. So, I'm going to go to my profile, please. Thank you. And I'm going to pull up the polls. So, the opening round, I'm going to go through the left side of the bracket, and then I'm going to go through the right side of the bracket, and we're going to announce the winners, and then we're going to announce the matchups. That's how we're going to do it. So shout out to Little Debbie. Thank you for letting me host this. Presented by MoonRouteStudios. The Little Debbie Tournament. Dude, first up, round one. Fight. Nutty Buddy versus chocolate chip cupcakes. Nutty Buddy won 62% to 38%. Not a lot of people were fucking with the chocolate cupcakes with the swirl. We'll get to the chocolate chip cupcakes or whatever they're called. Next up, frosted fudge cakes versus chocolate chip cream pies. This was a close one. Chocolate chip cream pies beat them out 56% to 44%. Now, I didn't think people would be into the voting, but they went through the whole left side and then they went through the whole right. People I don't even talk to anymore. Shout out to my boy Raja. Shout out to my boy Tamarcus. You know how we do it. Shout out to Ashley Lovingood. I should probably stop saying last names, huh? Shout out to you guys. Next up, we have fudge rounds. And then we got red, white, and blue theme. Now, I told you guys, when I say the theme, whether it's the red, white, and blue, the Easter, the fall, the Christmas, it's just the theme. It's not any cake in particular. It's just the theme. And I put all of them up against fudge rounds by themselves because I knew that fudge rounds could take them. They were actually randomized. But I had the final say, yeah, that matchup's fair. Let's leave it. And fudge rounds dominated 77% to 23%. Now, those 23% of you. Oh, sorry. No, that's not, no. Anyways, you guys are so fucking American to go against fudge rounds like that, to just go with the red, white, and blue theme. And that's interesting to see in a lot of these matchups. I'll really elaborate on it in the last matchup, but are these people actually voting for the cake because they like it or because they just don't like the other one? So it's super fascinating to me when people try to pick what Debbie cake they want, and it's got to be so defeating when they click on it and it's oh, nobody's voted for this yet. 95-5. Dude, fudge rounds beat them out. Next up, fancy cakes versus chocolate chip cakes. Fancy cakes won 55-45. It was close, but they're technically the same thing, dude. They go on to the next round. Next matchup, Marshmallow Supreme versus Swiss cake rolls, or just Swiss rolls. Swiss rolls won 82% to 18%. So there was no competition. Swiss rolls are just, they're bad. I think a lot of y'all are sleeping on the Marshmallow Supremes, but I do agree that when they're matched up against Swiss rolls, it was a hard matchup for them. They lose out, man. Next up, jelly cream pies versus fudge brownies. Now, I talked to some people, and because I get to see who voted for jelly cream pies like a maniac. Dude, if you voted for jelly cream pies over fudge brownies, now listen, I know a lot of y'all, like I was about to say, I messaged a couple people, and they were like, well, I just don't like walnuts. Hey, man. That's fair. Fine. I'm not going to roast you for not liking walnuts. But jelly cream pies, take a hike. Get out of here, dude. Beat it. What was that Michael Jackson song? I don't know. It'll come to me. Okay. Next matchup, PB&J oatmeal pies versus the birthday cakes. Now, who doesn't like birthday cake ice cream? Who doesn't like birthday cakes? Dude, the 27% that voted for the PB&J oatmeal pies, man, I know who you are, and I'm going to leave it at that. I know. Everybody else might not know, but I know. You guys are some sick individuals. Come on, man. And then you had something that I thought wouldn't even be remotely close, but was. Shout out to Pierre. Boston cream rolls versus the Be My Valentine theme. What is a Boston cream roll? Look at this thing, dude. Boston cream roll. That's that pinche cabrón. Versus the Be My Valentine. Now, this is what baffles me. Is when we get into the theme, the red, white, and blue theme lost. So you're out. But it's kind of the same thing as the Be My Valentine. But it's not. I get it. That's why they're two different things. That's why I split them. So, Be My Valentine won 60 to 40%. And I don't even think it should have been that close. Get out of here if you like Boston cream rolls. Next side of the bracket, dude. If you guys were with me on that side, then I appreciate it. The next side, matchups get a little harder, but you can kind of see, if you pay attention, to the left side and the right side, it's gonna get a little more difficult. Not just for you guys, but for me as well, okay? It's gonna get difficult for all of us. The people who care about Debbie cakes. Shout out to you guys. Day 2. First matchup, zebra cakes versus the Christmas theme. Now, I realized that zebra cakes had to go up against 10 different Christmas themed cake styles. But they held their own, dude. 64 to 36, they went down swinging. I don't understand how you guys don't fuck with the Christmas theme. It's one of my favorites. But, you know, I get that you're entitled to your zebra cakes. I love zebra cakes. Can't eat too many of them. Get kind of sick. No. And then they held their own. What can I say? They went down swinging with a hard 36%, going up against one of the hardest, in my opinion, opponents in the whole tournament. And the whole tournament. Nope. Next up, Devil Creams versus Easter theme. Devil Cream versus Easter theme. Now, if you can eat a Devil Cream without drinking 2 gallons of milk, power to you. But those things are way too dry, dude. Hey, I'm not eating the headrest of a 90s Buick. I'm trying to enjoy a Devil Cream. Nope. Easter theme, 73% to 27%. Blew them out of the water. Next up was a hard one for me. It was a hard one to decide. Star Crunch versus Honey Buns. Honey Buns edged them out, 67 to 33. Shout out to the people who like Star Crunch, but Honey Buns just got the number. It relates to the masses more. I feel like Star Crunch is one of the harder ones to come by. I feel like Honey Bun's kind of a generic one. You know, default one. Anyways, Cloud Cakes and Devil Squares. You guys don't like Twinkies? It was 61 to 39% in favor of Devil Squares. Devil Squares, they're good. But you guys don't even like Twinkies? Robert, they're not Twinkies, they're Cloud Cakes. Hey, man. Whatever. Next matchup, oatmeal cream pies versus strawberry shortcake rolls. If you voted strawberry shortcake rolls, that's another eh. But I understand why, because oatmeal cream pies are eh. The only thing that's good about an oatmeal cream pie is the cream part. I would do it like an Oreo. I would open it up and la 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 la. Censor. La 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 la. Anyways, next matchup, fall theme versus the 6-count donuts. Now, mind you, I included the powder, the chocolate, the crunch, the glaze, and the birthday cake 6-count donuts, and they still lost out to the fall theme. Fall theme, 60%. 6-count donuts, 40%. What a shame. And then you have, I'm almost done. You almost have, come on! Cosmic Brownies versus Donut Sticks, 68% to 32%. Cosmic Brownies, they obviously won, because when you put them up against Donut Sticks, who eats Donut Sticks? They have a mug of coffee on the front. Like, hey, you're going to need something to drink when you eat these. Cosmic brownies, it's a rainbow. Hey, here's a rainbow for you while you eat your cosmic brownies. What do you have for me with the donut sticks? I got a cup of Joe. Come on. 68% to 32, cosmic brownies won. And then this is one of the most interesting ones to me, personally, to me. I'm so glad this matchup happened. It was raisin cream pies versus pecan spin wheels. They beat them. Pecan spin wheels beat raisin cream pies 95% to 5%. I know who you are, you raisin cream pie voter, and I will leave you anonymous because you do not deserve that hate. What is wrong with you? Now, this is one of those, did they vote for pecan spin wheels because they like them, or did they vote for pecan spin wheels because they didn't like raisin cream pies? Because I'm about to go through backwards and do the matchups. Because pecan spin wheels advance to the next round, where they take on cosmic brownies. Yes. So it's pecan spin wheels versus cosmic brownies going into the next round. Then you have the fall theme versus the oatmeal cream pies. The devil squares versus the honey buns, and the Easter theme versus the Christmas theme. That's going to be an interesting one because it's apples to apples. It's the same thing, but it's not. So I get it. And then the other side of the bracket, it's going to have Nutty Buddy versus chocolate chip cream pies. Super excited for that one. Fudge rounds versus fancy cakes. Swiss rolls versus fudge brownies. And birthday cakes versus Be My Valentine. Now, the polls will be up. The polls will be up tomorrow. And you guys can vote tomorrow. Yes. And then it'll get even closer and closer and closer. And then we'll have the top Debbie Cake champion. We'll have the Debbie Cake champion of the world. Dude, I'm so excited. Tune in. Vote. I love it. Now, Slash. We're going to go into unlocking memories. And this week, I'm going to touch on something that I don't really touch on a lot because I don't really care to, because it's silly in its own way. And then it's just not something that you talk about. So I'm going to talk about it. Unlocking memories this week. All I have written down is giving up religion for Harry Potter. Now, I'll elaborate on this. I am a lover of science fiction and fantasy. And I was born in Springfield, Missouri, meth capital of the world. Ching ching. Ching ching. And I used to go to church. I used to be a Royal Ranger. If anybody knows what that is. I had a red vest, and it had patches on it, and it had little pins in it, and it was sick. We did stuff like tie knots, make box cars. I remember this one time at church. We were in the gymnasium, and we were painting our box cars, and I named mine the Blue Eagle, but I painted it green, like this color green, and this lady laughed at me, and I was just like, I was so heartbroken, dude. I was so heartbroken. Don't make fun of me. I named it his name. It's not my fault I painted it green. Anyways, so we're in church. We just do stuff like that. They used to make us sit on the wall and then hold tissues. I don't even remember what the contest was for, but they would just do stuff like that. So one day, all the Royal Rangers, they came from playing outside, and they brought us and sat us down in the gymnasium. And there was this youth pastor, Royal Rangers, like Cub Scout kind of thing. And he ran it, and he was a part of the church and everything. And his son was a Royal Ranger with me. I don't remember what his name was. And dude, it was so long ago. It was back when Harry Potter came out. So it was like 2000. They started doing the commercials, and then it came out in 2001, I believe. So we're talking about the Sorcerer's Stone, numero uno, Harry Potter, right? And so we're sitting in the gymnasium, and we're in two lines. I'm in the line, and this is when I went by Dylan. So Dylan's all good. He's just sitting crisscross applesauce, and he's got the world in front of him. And I'm listening to this cat talk about his experience with him and his son at home, and they're watching TV together. And this is where I'm going to go into like his shtick and his voice. So he goes, yeah, so me and Dusty, this is a made up name. Yeah, so me and Dusty the other night, we were watching TV, and it went on commercial or something, and there was a commercial for that new Harry Potter, and it was a toy or something. And I looked at Dusty and I said, you know, that'd be a really cool toy to get. You think? Trying to, you know, see what he would like and gauge what he would like. And he turns around and he goes, you know what, Daddy? I don't want that toy. Now, let me take a break, because number one, I'm just baffled at this story, because it's like, did the kid say this? I'm about to tell you what he said, but did the kid say this, or did the dad like implant this? Regardless, it gets my blood hot thinking about it. Anyways, I'll elaborate. So he goes, you know, wouldn't that be a good toy to get? And the kid, Dusty turned around to me. He looked me in the face and he said, you know what, Daddy? I don't want that toy, because that's witchcraft. And I said, you know what, son? You're right. And we had a good laugh about it. Ho! Huh? Dylan, I'm crisscross applesauce, spine forward. Got the world ahead of me. I'm like, we were just tying knots. We were just getting badges. We were making soapbox car. How did we get here? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how did we get here? And then he went into this whole spiel about how the mainstream is making stuff like this okay. Okay, at that time, I'm a kid. I like Harry Potter. So I politely sit through his stuff. I say his shtick. That was disrespectful. His shtick. And I get in the car, and my parents are sitting up front, and I say, hey, I don't ever want to go there again. And they're just like, okay. There's one other time that they didn't ask any questions, and that's when I tried to be a part of the drill team. I wanted to walk around in those clean uniforms so bad and carry the flag in elementary school, so I was like, all right, I'll sign up for the drill team. And we were marching, and we were at ease, but we were all in line. And then this girl came in, hollering for her brother Dylan, and it wasn't me because I don't have a sister, but my name was also Dylan at the time, so I turned my head. And the little drill, or the big, huge man that was the drill sergeant, he grabs my head and he says, that's none of your concern. Oh. So I got in the car after my first drill practice, and I told my parents, my mom and my dad, hey, I don't ever want to go there again. And they saw how serious I was, because I was a funny kid. They saw how serious I was and was like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Didn't ask any questions. Could have been a million things. I told them I didn't want to go there anymore. Don't inhibit me. That with the church thing. They don't touch me with the drill sergeant thing. But like, don't inhibit me. You're telling me I can't watch Harry Potter? So at that time, going to Royal Rangers was my only source of religion. My babysitter Ruthie was really religious, and she's really the one who got me wrapped up in it. Not wrapped up in it, put in it. She was a very nice lady. Appreciate it. I learned a lot. But don't inhibit me. Don't say that I can't do all these things. Like, don't give me all these rules that aren't even rules. They're just... Anyways, I'm not going to get into it because it's not silly. It's silly in its own way, but it's not. And so I gave up religion for Harry Potter. Now, this is where it gets silly. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask me how many Harry Potters I've seen. I've seen the first one. I've seen the second one. I've seen the last one. Dude. I don't even like Harry Potter like that. Just don't inhibit me. Yeah, it got boring after the Chamber of Secrets. And I got lost. And my ADHD possibly kicked in if I have it. My ADD, whatever it is. I don't even know. I just don't tell me that I can't be into something. Because that's going to make me be into it. And it's probably going to win. Would I rather be into Harry Potter and not sound like... You sound crazy when you're like, Daddy, I don't want that toy. Because that's witchcraft. It's a toy! I used to have this guy that I worked with. He wouldn't watch scary movies at his house because he believed that they had demons inside of the DVDs. What? Also coming from the same guy that goes, I would whoop Michael Myers' ass. Motherfucker, he would pin... Anyways. I digress. I'm all over the place, dude. It's hard to get in podcast mode when there's no camaraderie or I can't run stuff by you guys. So it's just me. No producers, no directors. It's just me and a can of Zevia and the occasional bean that pops in. Ugh. But that's unlocking memories, dude. I remember the second I felt it is when he was doing his son's voice. If he would have been like, and then what'd you say? And then what'd you say, Dusty? And then I said, fuck that toy, Daddy. That's witches. Come on. But no, he 100% was convinced that he was just like, nah, I don't need Harry Potter. And then it went on to be one of the biggest franchises of all time. I wonder how many of those Royal Rangers kept watching Harry Potter or even like thought about it again. Like went home and thought about it. I thought about it right there and I made a decision. I was like, you're not going to inhibit me. No. And then I was 6, just before I moved out here, still kicking it. But I had the consciousness to learn how to ride a bike. When you hit a state of consciousness and a state of just intelligence, I guess, natural intelligence, and you're able to concentrate on skills such as motor skills, and then kind of people reading and conversation skills. Like, it was hard for me to read it was hard for me to articulate myself for the long time, and it still is. You obviously see that. But it was hard for me to read what people thought was funny. Again, I'll give you a story. My mother and my father were riding home. I'm the only child. They were nice, and they got me a pack of orange Tic Tacs from the store. Me, thought it would be funny, popped the lid off, down the whole bottle, and I got my cheeks stuffed. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Dad. My dad turns around, and he it was dark and there were street lights going by. So it's like every 300 feet there's a street light, and I just see street light, and he's just mad, and then street light, and then just it's the scariest thing ever. And he goes, hold them in your mouth. He's like, hold them in your mouth until we get home. And I'm like, oh my God, because like it's starting to hurt. Not only are all these juices coming from these Tic Tacs. Have you ever put a whole thing at... Anyways, that's something that dumbass Dylan did. And so I ended up having to spit him out in the toilet. He was real mad. Don't waste his money. Don't inhibit me. Don't waste my dad's money. So, dude, that's unlocking memories. And we made it to this podcast. I need to start getting a timer because I don't know how long I'm going. I just go and I go and I go until everything's done. Cha-ching! Do you guys got like 3 or 4 unlocking memories? Shout out to you guys. I love talking to you guys. I miss talking to you guys. I can only do this once a week because I don't want to. I don't know. I don't know what my reasoning is. I'm a really busy guy when I don't sit at home 2 weeks straight from COVID. I don't want to promise you guys anything more than I can give you. I don't like to break promises. I like that you guys come. I like that you guys subscribe. Thank you for subscribing and not being cum socks. I really appreciate it. If you're going to comment on this channel and you're not even subscribed, you cum sock. What are you doing? That doesn't wash out easy. I hope you know. You can tell I've met cum socks in the past that have kind of straightened out, but they're a little crusty. You can tell. They tried to wash it off, tried to wash it out. That's disgusting. That's so disgusting. I guess there are UFC fights this weekend. Marvin Vettori versus Kevin Holland. I got Kevin Holland. It goes the distance and he wins it by decision. Big Mouth is back. That's all I'm going to do. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for putting up with Enzo always. He really likes it. He gets to be the center of attention for a couple of seconds and or minutes. Dude, shout out to MoonRouteStudios. We're out here time traveling. Shout out to Imprint Jones. Shout out to Young Calabaster. I'm just handing shout outs left and right. Shout out to Omar. Dude, shout out to COVID. Thank you for giving me this break. When my depression didn't really kick in, I realized I was like, okay, you probably just have been really tired and you need a break. I've been going and going and going since I was 21 years old, dude. Nonstop. Living in my car and a bunch of other stuff. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that in the unlocking memories. I'll tell you guys about all the QT that I ate. I love you guys. And thank you for coming. This is episode 13, Friday, the 13th episode of the Quezt. And you're here with Robert Dylan Vasquez, Robert Roni Boy Vasquez. I'll see you guys later.